How does one become a legend in your world? You must first survive the elements. Then you must defy the gods themselves. Only then will they carve your name in stone. Tell us, how does one become a legend in your world? You must first survive the elements. Then you must defy the gods themselves. Only then will they carve your name in stone.
There is your Kratos that thou asked for.
Thine.
How y'all doing? My co-host loves it when I act like this. Welcome back to Ultra Maga Nation!
Oh, we just lost 3 viewers.
That was one of my Alex Jones.
The Jones.
The Jones.
The big
Look,
Jones.
I just gotta tell you. I was watching the meteor go down and I was smoking a cigarette holding my wiener.
I still haven't seen
I
I haven't watched it.
I really did watch Alex Jones say that.
Apparently he was complaining about losing viewers, and it's like, yeah, dude, you went from pro MAGA to like Trump needs to be 25th.
The Trump's a Nazi.
Mm-hmm. So
look at the screen right now. I want you to really listen to what I'm about to tell you. For years, we were told, what were we told? To sit down and shut up and accept the status quo. You were told people in power were untouchable. You were told that if a politician broke the law, it would be swept under the rug. You were told that if a government scientist lied to you about the origins of a global crisis, you had no right to see the emails. You were told that if corporate contractors ripped off your tax dollars, it was just the cost of doing business. And you were told that if you spoke out at a school board meeting, you were a threat. They wanted you tried. They wanted you to throw up your hands and turn off the news. I believe the swamp was just too big, too deep, and too protected to ever be brought to justice. Well, take a look around tonight, folks, because the wind hasn't just shifted. The gale-force winds of accountability are blowing through this country like a freight train. Tonight on Ultra Maga Nation, we are witnessing what happens when everyday American patriots refuse to yield. In the state of Florida, we are proving that no title, no political office, and no high society connections will protect a predator who harms children. Handcuffs go on. The executive orders drop, and you go straight to a concrete cell, period. In federal courtrooms, the experts who swore they were following the science are standing in front of judges in tears, pleading guilty to felony conspiracy for hiding the receipts from the American public. In our military, we are stripping away bloated billion-dollar globalist vulnerabilities and building hyper-lethal Skynet, AI-powered vertical fighters powered by American grit and American steel. And at the Department of Justice, the crosshairs are finally turning away from parents and patriots and are locked directly onto the corporate grifters who thought they could bleed this nation dry with impunity. The establishment's cloak of invincibility is officially shredded. They thought they were going to fade away. They thought Ultra Maga Nation was just noise on the internet. But we aren't just listening anymore. We are watching, we are voting, and we are demanding justice, and we are winning. So buckle up, turn the volume up all the way, just in case I'm not loud enough, and share this broadcast with every freedom-loving American you know. Tonight, the truth isn't just marching on, it's taking the room. Welcome to Ultra Maga Nation. Let's get to work. Folks, if you turned on corporate news networks, they will tell you all day long that there are two tiers of justice in this country. They will tell you, that there is one tier for the elites, the politicians, the well-established, connected swamp creatures, and a completely different tier for you and me, or you and them.
Them and you.
Them and you. And you know what? If you are looking at Washington, D.C., or New York, or California, they are absolutely right. If you're part of the club in those places, you get a pass. But we don't live in Washington, D.C. We live in the free state of Florida, and down here, the rules of gravity still apply, no matter how much money you have and no matter who you know. Earlier this week, this is wild, by the way, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and Attorney General James Utmeyer's office rolled up on a man named Mike Caruso. Now, let me paint the picture of exactly who Mike Caruso is. He isn't some low-level street criminal. He's a former state representative. He's a guy who rubbed elbows with Tallahassee's elite for years. And up and until Tuesday morning, he was sitting pretty as the clerk of the circuit court and comptroller down in Palm Beach County. He was making over $212,000 a year of taxpayers' money. This is a very powerful and very well-connected public official. He was also appointed to that seat. Well, according to a brand new FDLE affidavit, he is also accused of being an absolute monster. I'm talking about 5 felony charges of child sexual abuse involving a child under the age of 5. 5 felony counts. First off, feet first into a wood chipper if he's guilty. Now let's play the game. Let's pretend that this happened in, I don't know, New York or Illinois. What happens when a vile, powerful, connected pet politician gets caught up in something like this? We know how the machine operates. The establishment immediately circles the wagons, Eric Swalwell. The legacy media suddenly loses interest in the story. They form a special committee. They drag their feet, and eventually they quietly let the guy resign with his full pension while sweeping the whole thing under the massive bureaucratic rug. Not in Florida, folks. Not on our watch. Down here, the FDLE slapped those silver bracelets on him and booked him into the county jail with no bond. And before the ink was even dry on his arrest report, Governor Ron DeSantis dropped the hammer. He didn't ask for a committee. He didn't ask for a review board. He issued an immediate executive order suspending Caruso from office, locked him out of his email, and barred him from receiving a single dime of taxpayer money while the suspension is in effect. Florida Attorney James Utmeyer put it perfectly. He said, being in a position of public trust provides no shield from accountability. This is exactly the standard we demand on this broadcast. I do not care if you have an R next to your name. I do not care if you have a D next to your name. I don't care how many fancy fundraising dinners you've been to. If you hold political office and you harm children, the state of Florida is going to put you in a concrete box and throw away the key. This is what law and order looks like. The Florida playbook is very simple. 0 tolerance for predators, period. No exceptions, no excuses, no political favors. The wild part is I'm pretty sure that, didn't we just pass that whole under 12 death penalty thing here?
Did we?
I'm pretty sure, look it up real quick. I'm pretty sure that we did. And if we did, I wonder I wonder if that applies. Because if it does, bad news for him. Bad news. Bad news for him. Does it apply? While my co-host looks that up. Today's video is brought to you by Chicago Steak Company. A gourmet steak box should give you more than a pile of grocery store meat. The cut matters, the aging matters, and how it arrives all before the grill ever gets hot. Chicago Steak Company hand selects and hand cuts its steaks, wet ages select cuts, and ships them packed with dry ice so they should arrive frozen. Build your order around USDA Prime Filet Mignon or Chicago bestsellers. For a limited time, order $179 or more and use code SAVORY, SAVORY, and you'll get 4 free premium boneless petite strip steaks, a sampler cheesecake, free shipping, and a $25 account credit after your package ships, valid for 6 months. The complete bundle is stated $299 value. Go to mychicagosteaks.com and use code SAVOR. That's SAVORY. Links in the description.
And yeah, law since 2023.
Yeah, I thought we passed
Capital felony.
That can be wood chippered. I think a politician should go out and be like, all right, if you're convicted of this, we put your feet first in a wood chipper if you get the death penalty. That way you got a little bit of time to think about what you did.
Yeah.
I think pedophiles and wood chippers are like a perfect match. I think that should be like a thing. Maybe I'm the only one. I'm not. He thinks the same thing.
Flamethrower.
Yeah, but I think the flamethrower might just be a little too quick. Huh? They got to sit there in the crusties.
I think you gotta you suffocate either way, but
yeah. Not if you like turn it on and turn it off.
Yeah, just flame.
Slow roast them.
What's that thing they used to do?
The bull?
Nah, that's cool. But like the one where they like the one that happened to Joan of Arc, where they like put you on a post and the fire slowly.
Oh, like burn you at the stake.
Burn you at the stake. Brought to you by Chicago Steaks. Not really.
Code SAVOR. SAVORY.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's your segment here. So.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, guys. Free state of Florida doing big things.
The Fauci FOIA cover-up. Dead serious. Now I want to talk about something else that's been brewing in the swamp.
Swamp juice.
And folks, this one is massive. For the last 4 years, if you dare to ask questions about where COVID came from, what do they call you?
Conspiracy theorist.
You were a conspiracy theorist.
I didn't even know that's what it was.
Oh, you know what it is.
Oh, I know what it is.
You were anti-science. You were booted off social media, shadow banned, and treated like you were wearing a tinfoil hat. All because you wanted to know what our government, and specifically the NIH, National Institute of Health.
Nasty Health Institute.
Yeah, exactly. was doing with American tax dollars over in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Well, guess who isn't laughing anymore?
COVID Institute of Virology. Isn't it crazy how that's just suddenly disappeared from its name?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about it.
Sorry. That place probably doesn't even exist anymore. Probably scrap that place.
It's a computer manufacturing facility now.
Yeah.
They make
a data center.
Yeah, it's a data center.
Yesterday in a federal courtroom over in Maryland, a man named Dr. David Moran stood before a judge, and he didn't just stand there. He pled guilty to a felony conspiracy charge. He admitted to defrauding the United States government. Let me tell you exactly who David Morenz is. For 16 years, from 2006 to 2022, Morenz was a senior advisor in the Office of the Director at the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Who was the director for those 16 years? Oh, that's right, Mr. Fauci.
Oh, no way!
What the fuck even happened? Morenz was in Fauci's inner circle. They co-authored over 50 scientific papers together.
Cook for Barack Obama.
Yeah. Morenz was the guy briefing Fauci before those big White House coronavirus task force meetings. And what exactly did Mr. Dr. Morenz plead guilty to? He admitted that he deliberately, systematically, and illegally used his private Gmail account to conduct official government business.
Hold on, let me interrupt you. So he used his private email account to do official. Well, there's somebody else that did that. They said that wasn't a crime.
Who?
There's somebody with a Clinton name that had their own private Gmail.
It checks out.
Yeah, it does. It does. Anyway, sorry. Just a rather anecdotal note.
Why did he do that? To completely evade Freedom of Information Act or FOIA requests. They were hiding the paper trail, or tried. The Department of Justice unsealed the emails, folks, and you cannot make this up. In February 2021, Fauci's own senior advisor wrote this to a colleague. Quote, I learned from our FOIA lady here how to make emails disappear after I am FOIA'd. But before the search starts, plus I deleted most of those earlier emails after sending them to Gmail, end quote. He literally wrote, quote, I learned how to make emails disappear. And he went even further, telling colleagues he would delete anything he didn't want to see on the front page of the New York Times. According to federal prosecutors, Morenz and his co-conspirators were intentionally hiding communications about a multi-million-dollar NIH grant called, quote, Understanding the Risk of Bat Coronavirus Emergence. This was the money that was funneling a sub-award directly to the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China. When the NIH tried to terminate that grant because people were starting to ask questions about a lab leak, Morenz used his private, off-the-books email to secretly help his buddies fight back. He worked behind the scenes to try and restore the funding and to aggressively crush the narrative that COVID-19 leaked from a Chinese lab.
It sounds like a bad movie.
Yeah. That's what Woody Harrelson said on a SNL.
Yeah, he did.
They weren't following the science. They were protecting the grant money, protecting the establishment, and breaking federal record laws to make sure you and I never found out what they were really up to. And it gets even swampier. According to the DOJ, one of Moren's
swamp nose.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see, where was I? I lost it.
Protecting the grant money.
It gets even swampier.
Yeah.
According to the DOJ, one of Moren's co-conspirators actually bribed Morenz for his behind-the-scenes shenanigans. Morenz was allegedly given wine and promised lavish dinners at Michelin-starred restaurants in Paris, New York.
Way better than any pizza party that most businesses give good employees.
In Washington, D.C., wine and fancy dinners in Paris paid for by the guy running the Wuhan research grants, while small businesses in America were being boarded up and forced to shut down. Let that sink in. Let it sink. This isn't some wild internet theory anymore, folks. It is a federal guilty plea in a United States district court. Morenz is now facing up to 5 years in federal prison. 5 years.
This is for deleting emails. It's not for funding gain of function research and then lying and saying you didn't fund or that after the fact.
The deep state is being dismantled piece by piece. Keep demanding the truth because the truth is finally catching up to them. Hopefully Fauci too.
Well, I don't know if he just keeps pleading the fifth.
At some point, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If I feel.
But the truth of the matter is, if Fauci ever really does see anything, it'll probably be 3 inches of water outside of Obama's house.
Yeah. Or again, a damn plane crash.
Yeah. Or his Tesla will just drive right off of a mountain. Conspiracy theorists. All right, patriots, let's wash the taste of the deep state out of our mouths and talk about something that's going to make your chest swell and make our enemies sweat. We are talking about American heavy metal. We are talking about the doctrine of peace through strength. coming to life in Skynet. I mean, in real time. Now, last week, we talked about 100% tariff on foreign drones. We basically told China to take their spy tech flying blenders and shove them. But you might be wondering, if we aren't buying their garbage, what are we building instead? Well, I want you to grab your coffee mug because the U.S. Navy's Defense and Innovation Unit just dropped a cool $50 million on a defense startup called Shield AI. They are building a little piece of flying freedom called the X-Bat. Now, when I say drone, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking of the little plastic thing your nephew got stuck on the roof last Christmas. No. Let me correct the record. The X-Bat is a fully autonomous AI-piloted fighter jet. And when I say jet, I mean it's got an F-16 class engine strapped to its ass. But here is the absolute kicker. This thing is what we call a tail sitter. It takes off and lands completely vertical. Think Elon Musk's spaceships coming back down and taking off. Right on its tail is how it lands, and right on its tail is how it takes off. Do you understand what that means? For the last 70 years, the globalist and military planners have been absolutely obsessed with building these massive, multi-billion-dollar aircraft carriers. They're basically floating targets that need an entire zip code of water to turn around. You need steam catapults. They're actually not steam anymore. They're electromagnetic catapults.
Steam!
But you need arresting wires. You need a runway the size of a Walmart parking lot. Not anymore, folks. The Navy is saying runways, where we're going, we don't need runways.
Don't even need them.
Because the X-Bat can launch from literally any flat deck. They are planning to put these things on Arlington Burke-class destroyers. They can put them on frigates. Hell, if you had a pontoon boat in the Gulf of America with a flat enough deck, you could probably launch a tactical airstrike from it. That's it. We're in Florida. We all need our own personal X-Bats. And the brain inside this thing is just as wild as its engine. It runs on Shield's AI hive mind software. That means it doesn't need some guy with a communication or some guy with a joystick sitting in a trailer in Nevada. It can operate in totally jammed, communication denied environments. It can team up with manned fighter jets, or it can fly completely on its own as a solo robotic wingman. As the Shield AI president said, AI power without runways is the holy grail of deterrence. And let's talk about cost. We've been spending $100 million a pop on legacy fighter jets, and we're too afraid to scratch the paint on, with good reason. The X-Bat is what the military calls attributable. That's a fancy Pentagon word for it's cheap enough that if we lose one blowing up a terrorist camp, we can just build 5 more by Tuesday. This is exactly what the American First Doctrine looks like. We are done fighting the last century's wars with last century's bloated bureaucracy. We are building fast, we are building lethal, and we are turning every gray hole in the United States Navy into an AI launch pad. This message to the world is very simple right now. Don't start shit, there won't be shit. That shit's wild, though. Like, the fact that they're able to just vertically take off and take down and fly away and fly off and...
Yeah, that's wild as shit. Probably convenient.
Don't worry, Jasons. I won't shoe myself.
Don't talk about the Clintons.
Don't worry about the frogs in the background.
Can you hear the frogs?
Frogs are gay. The frogs are gay. But, like, I guess the truth of the matter is, you know, for every AI fucking item that comes up, at the end of the day, that's what the data centers are for. And I'm against the data centers as well as the next guy, but I'm not against the data centers for the reason of there being data centers. What I'm against is the fact that The data centers should not cost people like you and me more money on our utility bills. All right. When the power infrastructure has to be upgraded so much so to the point that because these data infrastructures use so much power that the power companies' plants just can't make it, you and I shouldn't have to pay more on our power bill, so that they can get power. That would be simply more on it. Anyway, the whole issue is, my issue isn't the data centers themselves. It's the fact that, like I said, we shouldn't have to pay more for it. Like, if Google AI wants to build a data center, that's great. They need to pay to update the infrastructure first so that the power can be produced and that people like you and me don't have to worry about our water and don't have to be worried about our power getting more expensive, because we're the ones that are going to foot the bill if that's not paid attention to. You know, are they going to become our overlords one day? Maybe. I don't know. But do I want to pay more for them to become our overlords later on? Definitely not. Definitely not. Maybe that's something our kids will have to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
The more you know. All right, for our final segment tonight, I want to talk to you about where our hard-earned tax dollars have actually been going. For the last 4 years, the Department of Justice hasn't just been asleep. They've been a taxpayer-funded deep REM coma while corporate grifters backed up moving trucks to the U.S. Treasury. But guess what? Attorney General Todd Blanche just walked into the building and pulled the fire alarm. The DOJ has officially launched the National Fraud Enforcement Division, or NFED. And I am telling you, the swamp creatures in Washington and the Beltway bandits are currently sweating through their designer suits. Let's look how this game used to be played. For decades, the DOJ was a fractured bureaucratic mess. If you were a giant corporation ripping off Medicare or a massive government contractor padding your bills with phantom expenses, you got a slap on the wrist by some slow-moving civil division. It was just the cost of doing business. But if you were a conservative mom showing up to a school board meeting, oh boy, they found that in the budget to send the FBI to your front door. Well, those days are officially over. The administration is ripping those resources out of the legacy bureaucracy and putting them under one roof. They are deploying a lean, agile squad of 500 prosecutors and a data analyst led by Assistant AG Colin McDonald. And they give one single mission: hunt down the people stealing your money. We are talking about an estimated $200 to $500 billion a year in federal fraud. That is $500 billion. It is absolute highway robbery. And for years, nobody in Washington cared because it wasn't their money, it was yours. Side note, under Joe Biden's presidency, one of the big things that people don't talk about is if you submitted a bill to the federal government, it got paid. No questions asked, no looking into it. If you submitted a bill to the government, they would pay you. But now we have a dedicated task force backing up a DOJ division that is explicitly prioritizing public trust violations, procurement, fraud, and massive healthcare scams. They are taking the crosshairs off the everyday American citizen and locking them directly onto the corporate swamp. They are sending a very clear message. If you are dodging tariffs by laundering foreign goods, if you're faking government contracts, or if you are bleeding Medicare dry, we aren't sending you a political warning letter. We are sending you a federal prosecutor. This is what Drain the Swamp actually looks like on paper, folks. It's not just a campaign catchphrase. It is a structural, tactical demolition of the deep state. The DOJ is finally going back to what it always was supposed to do: protecting the American taxpayer from crooks. And it's what they need to be doing. Because at the end of the day, if they're not going to do their jobs, you have to remember the government doesn't earn money. There's no money earned by the federal government. At the end of the day, when somebody defrauds the government out of up to $500 billion a year, they're taking your and my money. That is how that works.
Yep.
No questions asked. No, like, look at the dotted line. No check, well, the government built. No, they didn't. They didn't build anything. They didn't sell anything. They didn't make anything. What they did was collect money from us for protection under the understanding that that money was going to be properly distributed to the proper places. And it hasn't been. Nobody's been doing the whole checks and balances thing that this entire government was built on. That's it, period. The government was built on the fact that a dollar... Okay, Google, stop. That's me using my AI. A dollar was never earned. It was taken from you, from me, from him. And we paid that so that under the understanding that we had representation, that the money being used was used for the good of Americans, not to give somebody a fucking trashy tracksuit. At the end of the day, this is what we've needed for years. This should have been done in the 40s or the 50s. There's no reason. Do you remember a couple years ago when the guy held up the bag of washers and they're like, this is a $90,000 bag of washers? There has never been a reason that a bag of washers should have cost $90,000. I'm not talking a bag of washers the size of this room. I'm talking a bag of washers. It was about like this, maybe like this, by about that tall.
Yeah.
90 grand. They weren't diamond washers, because those don't exist and they would probably be impractical as shit. Those were just regular fucking washers. And that is where our issue lies. There you go, Greg.
We hear a lot about crypto, but here's the part most people miss. Crypto was created so you could actually own and control your money. After the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks. So instead of a bank holding your money, delaying transfers, or limiting access, you're in control. And if you've ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, you felt that problem. Now fast forward to today. Everyone's heard of crypto, but getting started still feels complicated. That's exactly why I use Rumble Wallet. It takes all that complexity and makes it simple. Choose what you want: Bitcoin, dollar-backed stablecoins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. No complicated setup. It connects with MoonPay, so you can use your credit card, debit card, or bank and be up and running in minutes. Once you're set up, you can even support your favorite Rumble creators, like us, directly. So do this now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're in the game. In just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some.
Do it. Do it. Do it now. Do it. Look at the ground we covered tonight. From Florida dropping the hammer on child predators to the federal courts finally ripping the lid off the Fauci FOIA cover-up to the U.S. Navy taking American drone tech to the absolute cutting edge. The DOJ, it's turning its guns on the corporate swamp, and do not let the legacy media tell you that we aren't making progress. Do not let the establishment tell you that we are losing. The America First agenda is moving lightning fast. The accountability is real, and the great awakening is happening in real time. But they are not going to give up without a fight, which means neither can we. We need you engaged. We need you informed. And we need you on the front lines of your own community. Make sure to hit the subscribe button right now on Rumble. Leave a comment and send this link to every single patriot you know. We are breaking the algorithm, and we're doing it together. Keep your powder dry, keep your intellect sharp, stay fast, and stay free. From the heart of the free state of Florida, I'm signing off. Have a great night. God bless America, and we'll see you on the next live briefing. of Ultra Maga Nation. We're out. Oh, no, it's that one.
Word up.
No, it's not that one either. That one. All right, we're really out this time.